Hey everyone, welcome to my live stream where I'm going to be ranking every single movie I saw in February 2026. I saw 8 movies in total, which is a little lower than I usually see in a month, but that's because New York had two huge blizzards, so it limited how many movies I could see. Usually I would try to go like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but I couldn't do that because just the weather was just too hard to navigate. So only can make it out for one movie at a time. But I think 8 movies is still a decent amount. I did miss some of the big releases like Wuthering Heights and Goat, but I got to see a bunch of other really cool stuff in February. The way the live stream is going to work tonight, I'm going to talk about January and how I felt like January started off 2026 and a theory that I heard online, which I think is true about this year and how important it's going to be moving forward. And then I'll talk about obviously ranking February. And then I'm going to talk about my most anticipated films coming in March. And I was going to be taking your questions. We're going to be generally just talking about films throughout the night. It's a safe space to talk about anything about films because I just want to talk to you guys directly about movies. I feel like I haven't gotten to talk to you guys in a live stream setting in a long time. So when it comes to January is usually like a dumping ground for films. And I think that since 2022, 2023, that's changed a bit. We've been getting some major releases in January that causes some conversation. And I think that we've been getting some really good movies in January instead of just fodder. And I think last year was not that great. So I thought we were getting back into the January. Oh God, January movies suck again. But I got to say, with things like 28 Years Later, Bone Temple, Send Help, and a couple of other films that came out in January, I think it started off the year really well. And I was excited to get into February and see how that momentum continued. And I got to say, while I don't think we had a major release that I got to see that was on the level of a 28 Years Later, there's some smaller films that I saw that I thought was actually better than that movie. We're going to be talking about that tonight as I rank these films. Let me see who's in the chat so far, and it's my boy Collect the Movie Man. He said, "How are you doing?" He hasn't seen any new releases in movie theaters since I've seen Send Help. He hasn't been in the movies theaters in a long time. I see. Probably won't see anything until Project Hail Mary. I just got my tickets for Project Hail Mary. After those initial reactions for that film, I'm super excited now. Have I watched Night of the Seven Kingdom? No, I haven't watched any TV shows in a long time. I've really just been watching movies. I do want to get into it. I heard it's really good. It's only 30-minute episodes, but yeah, that's probably going to be a delay. I haven't watched Stranger Things. I haven't watched that. I haven't finished Severance season 2. There's a ton of TV that I haven't watched. But when Invincible season 4 comes out, definitely watching that. Also wanted to ask if you ended up watching Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. Yeah, I did watch Naked Gun. During the Zack Attack Movie Awards, it was nominated for Best Comedy. So I really enjoyed Naked Gun. And I had Pamela Anderson nominated for Best Supporting Actress. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed the hell out of Naked Gun because I thought that was really, really strong. So we had a plethora of films that came out in theaters and in on streaming that came out, and I have a mixture here. I also got some screeners for some movies also that I'm going to be ranking here that surprised me. I have a couple of films that surprised me because, like I said, I didn't get to see Wuthering Heights. I didn't get to see Goat. I think all the other major releases for February I got to see. So let's kind of get right into it, and let's talk about the films that I got to check out and rank them. So at the bottom here, hopefully you guys can see it. If it's too small, let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, it's better. We have all 8 films that I saw in February, and I'm going to rank them in the order that we have here. And the first one we'll talk about is a film that I got to review on my channel, which is Psycho Killer, coming from the writer of Seven and directed by a director I'm not super familiar with. The way they advertised this film, the casting of the lead actress who was in what's the name of that movie that I really like that doesn't have physical media yet, by Zach Kreger. Why can't I remember what is it called? When the people in the basement, Zach Kreger. What's up? Barbarian. Georgina Smith from Barbarian. I like her. I think she does a really good job. And I really, really like the cast and the look of the film. I like the premise of the film, the serial killer who's killing people which seem at random in the name of Satan, and she's trying to figure out why he's doing this and where he's going next because he killed her cop husband, and she's also a cop. I think the movie had a great opening sequence, one of the best opening sequences of the year, I could say that. But once we got past the first act, the movie kind of just fell apart and went downhill. It didn't know what it wanted to be. It felt like such a serious crime thriller mystery in the beginning, and then it got really goofy in the middle, and then it just went off the rails at the end. And all the things that it was doing really, really well in the beginning of the movie, it just threw away. Georgina didn't get a chance to really do much, unfortunately. And yeah, I was really, really disappointed by this film. I really wish it was a lot better than it was. This one, I got some enjoyment of it, so I'm not going to put it in the absolute garbage F tier, but it's definitely going to go in a D tier. I think this is not a movie worth checking out in theaters. Honestly, you could skip it altogether. I don't think it's a movie worth checking out on streaming either. If you are a real horror fanatic and you have to see every horror film and you're very interested in this, I would say go see it for yourself. Like Kennedy Sparks says all the time, you might like it more than I did, but I would not say run to go check this out because it ended up not being as good as advertised, even though it wasn't that much advertisement. Let me see what you guys got to say. Yeah, there's a little small, but I can see most of the movies. Yeah, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see if I can zoom in. But let me see. I wish to wait to like make it so this was full screen. I'll figure that out next time. I think that's a little better. There we go. I really wanted to see Crime 101. I was supposed to go see it one day at the movie theater for $5 Tuesday, but I just didn't feel like going. That's fair. I think it's a good movie to watch in theater. I think it's very cinematic, but I understand there's movies I wanted to go to see too, and I just didn't feel like going, So I understand. I really wanted to see the movie about the singer, because the singer, I like her music. Oh, The Moment. Yes, we'll be talking about The Moment very, very soon. That is one of the surprises that I had for this month that I did not expect. But people that are in the live stream, let me know what your favorite movie you watched in February. It doesn't have to be a February release, like how Collective Movie Man didn't go see any movies in February, but I know you watched a ton of movies. What was your favorite movie you watched in February? Drop those comments down below. The next movie we're talking about is also not moving this discussion in a positive note. This is a film that I caught like at the end of the month, and I was kind of excited for it because it has Kelly Rowland and it has Cliff Method Man in it, and I'm a fan of both of those as artists and as actors. But Kelly Rowland, someone that I think has the chops to be a really good actress, but continues to just do piss poor movies, just movies that are just not good, nonsensical plots, don't utilize her abilities to the best that she can be. I thought Method Man was really good in the movie as well. But for a movie that's a romantic comedy, the romance was weak and the comedy was even weaker, unfortunately. This movie felt like an Amazon Prime promotion for this book based on the name. There's a book by a pastor named Relationship Goals, and this movie is a faith-based rom-com. And I was interested to see how they were going to pull that off. And unfortunately, it was very, very in your face, obnoxious, and poorly written. The first half of this film is just pushing this book in your face. The characters are just talking in unnatural ways. Even though I am not someone of faith, I know people of faith and they don't speak like that. It's just like they didn't have any personalities outside of their job and their faith. That was it. And they kept having the same conversations over and over and over, right? Kelly Rowland was a big exec trying to become a showrunner of a news station morning show, and her ex is coming in to possibly take her spot, and they're competing for it. And that's where they start like going back and forth. But the problem was it didn't really develop well. The back and forth was talking about like the same thing over and over. Like he cheated on her 10 years ago. He's saying he's a changed man because he found God and he found this book, and then they kept doing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And it just was, I almost turned it off. If I wasn't a completionist, I would have turned it off. And then They finally got to like the decent romantic parts that you expect from a rom-com, but it just wasn't executed well. It just wasn't written well. This was a really, really big disappointment. It's not the worst movie I've seen this year, but it's up there. It's one of the worst movies I've seen this year, and I think it's worse than Psycho Killer, unfortunately. So Relationship Goals reluctantly is going to go into the F tier. This was a movie that I did not enjoy at all. There were some funny moments in it, and there was a particular actress that I thought was doing the most that she could with the little that they were giving everybody. I actually want to give her a proper shout out. She had like the most personality. Annie Gonzalez. She was one of the best friends of Kelly Ronan. She had so much personality. Whatever little fun the movie had, she was involved in it. And they had like an interesting story plot with her, and they kind of just dropped it towards the end. So that was disappointing as well. I really wanted to see that movie about we're going to be talking about that. There's 3 movies I'm debating on are movies that I own that I watched in February: the Reverend, Titanic, and Air Force One. Okay, which one of those was your favorite? You watched some old school classics. But I did watch a movie from last year that I rented from library that I wanted to see in theaters that really surprised me. I liked it and dropped it. Really had me on the edge of my seat. What was the name of the movie? Up next is going to be a movie, also another movie that I caught on streaming at the last second, and that is The Bluff. This is a Prime Video action adventure. Well, not really an adventure, just an action film on the one island set in the 1800s, and I just really like how the script was laid out. I think it was a simple plot, but I think that the way that they laid out the plot and revealed things, it kept me engaged throughout. I think Priyanka Chopra Jonas, hopefully I'm saying her first 2 names correctly, is made for action stuff. This is like the 3rd or 4th thing I've seen her do like that's action oriented, and I think she does a really great job as an action star, and I want to continue seeing her do action. She was really great and believably like formidable in this film. You know, she was fighting dudes bigger than her, but they were doing it in ways that made sense. And she just seemed cunning and just like really badass. And her acting, the emotional acting was really good. Karl Urban, I was a little mixed on. He was good, but I felt like he could have been better as the antagonist in this film. He wasn't bad at all, but I thought he could be a little bit better to make this movie even greater than I thought it was. But overall, he did a great job. It looked good. We haven't had a pirate movie in a long time, really, of this kind of scale and production value, and with 2 like stars in it. The action was kind of unique in spots, and yeah, the story was simple. It was fine. It was nothing revolutionary, but I think the way they laid out the story was really, really cool. So I really, really enjoyed The Bluff a lot more than I expected. And I think that one's going to go in the C tier. I think it was a really good movie. I think it's a really good watch to watch at home. Nothing too crazy, nothing too amazing, but something that you can turn on and watch. And it wasn't one of those Netflix productions where they repeat the plot over and over and over. So you have to actually pay attention to it. So it was smartly written in that way. Not like super duper clever, but smartly written. Have you guys seen any of these movies I'm talking about? Relationship Goals, Psycho Killer, or The Bluff? Let me see what you guys are talking about. Oh, you saw Drop for the first time. Yeah, I saw that on Hulu. I wanted to go see Drop in theaters when it came out, but I missed it because I think there was 2 other movies that came out that weekend. But I like Drop. I think that it got a little ridiculous at the end, but overall I ended up liking Drop. It was pretty good. Hey, Prince Movies, what's up, man? Appreciate it. What's up, Mr. Dreadman? What's up? Luke Ponto, my guy, what's up? How you doing? What are you guys' favorite movies of February? Let me know. Next up is Pelion. This was a movie I actually got a screener for from A24, which was really cool. And this is a unique one. This is another rom-com that came out in February, but I think was a lot better than Relationship Goals. The way how Relationship Goals was like a Christian rom-com, and that's very different. This is a sadomasochistic, I don't know how to say that word properly, but like a dominatrix kind of situation between 2 gay men rom-com, which is very different from most rom-coms. Obviously, we don't get a lot of gay rom-coms in general, and this one was either another subculture that is kind of seen as taboo, and they kind of touch on that in the movie. But it's starring Alexander Skarsgård, and I want to make sure I say this guy name because this is the 3rd movie I've seen him in, and he's done like a really good job. His name is, if you'll give me the cast, is Henry Mellon. Henry Mellon was really, really good. He was like perfect casting for this. They needed somebody that was you can root for, but also someone that looked kind of weak and vulnerable, but also someone that was still charismatic and lovable in a way. And that was his character. So a guy that didn't have a lot of experience in his life, someone that was very easily influenced and was looking for his purpose and his people. And he found it in Alexander Skarsgård. And I have these conversations with friends all the time, having those relationships that maybe doesn't end well, but affect your life forever, right? Introduce you to things that you didn't know, whether it was music, movies, books, a hobby, or a sexual awakening. And that's what this movie's about. Alexander Skarsgård, bringing him into the fold of, these dominatrix with their, the best word I could say is pets, and how those relationships work, and never really judging it, just showing it as it is, and this is how everything works. And it's explicit but not super explicit. I had a good time. It was funny in parts. I think it could have been a little bit funnier to take it over the top. I think there was some kind of like they didn't lean into the awkwardness of the whole situation that much. I guess trying not to judge the film too much, but I still had judged the characters too much, but I still had a good time. And the ending was it was devastating, but also hopeful at the same time. So I had a really good time with Pelion. If you're someone that's open-minded, I would say definitely go check it out. I definitely think it was better than The Bluff. So I think it's a really good movie, but I don't know if it's a great movie. Actually, yeah, I'll put it in the B tier. So Pelion goes in the B tier. Any of you guys checked out Pelion? Have you seen Pelion yet? Did Send Help come out in February? That would probably be my favorite. Send Help came out in January. It came out, I think, the second to last week of January or the last week of January. So that's a January movie. When I did my January rankings, it was definitely high up there. But my favorite movie I've seen this year that I saw the beginning of January was the name of the movie is This Thing On. Yeah, that's the movie that came out last year in December. It got some Oscar buzz. I heard it was really good, but I haven't gotten to check it out yet. But yeah, I heard that's really good. I gotta check it out. I think it's on Hulu or Netflix or something like that now. Watched a movie last month on Netflix called Forgotten. Pretty damn good. Korean and absolutely wild twist if you've never seen it. Thank you for the recommendation, Sean Kenny. I'm gonna add that to my watch list. So on Netflix, I have it called Forgotten. It's a Korean film. I know Korean cinema can get really, really crazy, but like in a controlled, interesting way. So I'm definitely gonna go check that out. Is it an older film? Is it a 2026 film? When did it come out, Sean Kenny? All right, let's get into the next movie, and then I'm going to talk about some stuff that happened in February other than the stuff that happened in movies. So Dreams is a movie that I actually got to get a screener for, starring Jessica Chastain as a like millionaire debutante from New York who seems like be a philanthropist, and she's funding for schools in Mexico and other Spanish countries and helping them, get their green cards and passports and stuff like that, or just getting a better life in Mexico itself. And it starts off with her seeming like such a really good person. And then she kind of falls in love with one of the dancers in one of the schools she opens up with, a much younger man who is trying to come to America to realize his dreams. And he's like a great dancer. And the way the movie is, it makes it seem like it's this will they, won't they rom-com, this power struggle between two people from different walks of life. This very rich white debutante lady and this very culturally Mexican man, but with a big age gap and living very different lives, and how that affects and how the power struggle between both of them throughout the movie continued to switch, which kept me really, really engaged. And I was really hoping that they would just like get it together and make it through and figure out the relationship. But then I slowly realized maybe halfway through that this wasn't the romantic dream-like relationship that I thought the movie was at the beginning. It was something a little bit darker, a little bit more toxic, where both characters ended up being unlikable. Jessica Chastain's character is a lot more unlikable than the male lead in this, and I want to actually give him his name. Gotta look up these guys' name. His name is Isaac Hernandez. I think I've seen him before in a TV show, but I'm not 100% sure. His name was Fernando in the movie. Jessica Chastain was Jennifer. And he was using her, trying to get his green card, trying to come to America. And she was using him for her fantasy. She wanted somebody she could manipulate. And they revealed different things throughout the movie why she was like that. And it's no excuse for her behavior, but they both were just manipulating each other, trying to get what they want. But what they want conflicted with what the other person wants, right? He wants his freedom. She wants control. And that's kind of where things kind of went awry with this movie. But it actually ended up being a really, really good movie. Controversial. I think the third act, especially towards the end, will turn people off because it's kind of brutal. But I thought it was brave to show it like that, and I thought this was a really interesting movie. So I had a good time with Dreams, despite the craziness. I actually enjoyed it a little bit more. Pillion, both Pillion and Dreams were two movies that I feel like interesting. It's not letting me. Okay. Were very different from what you expect from movies in terms of like PC-ness, but I enjoyed both of them. 2017, guys, brother goes missing for 2 weeks, then comes back and something's off. Won't tell you anything else. Ooh, interesting. There's a movie actually coming out this year with a similar presence. I'm gonna say present. Similar like description. I think it might be a remake. It could be possibly, but it's between a wife and a husband. I think the wife disappears and comes back, and she's like completely different. And he's trying to figure out why, and it takes like a dark turn. So yeah, I'm interested in checking it out. I'm definitely going to add it to my watch list. I have a couple old movies that I want to see. I was told to watch Palm Springs. I want to watch that, and I'm going to definitely check out Forgotten. I'm going to add those to my Letterboxd watch list so I remember. I just got Disney Plus back for Daredevil Born Again season 2, and then I also got it back for Darth Maul animated show. I didn't even know they were making a Darth Maul animated show. That's cool. I'm definitely going to check out Born Again season 2. I'm interested to see how that show pans out now that the showrunners have full control over the script and the narrative and the show and the production and everything, and they don't have to like pitch everything together because they had to take the script from the old people that got scrapped and make sure that the through line just wasn't as perfect. So I'm gonna just see how they pull it off now, if it's much better. I'm definitely going to try to finish Naruto Shippuden. I'm glad that you made it to Shippuden. I'm glad you're having a good time. Naruto was a big influence with me when I was growing up. That was a show that I started in high school, and then it finished when I got at the end of college because it lasted so long. But yeah, Naruto was so good. Oh yeah, my interest. I'm mentally waiting for Undertone and Obsession. We're going to be talking about Undertone at the end of the stream when I talk about most anticipated movies for March. I'm excited for Obsession too. I don't think that comes out in March. I think it comes out a little later, but I'm excited for both of those films. Don't know much, but I'm glad. And then we're gonna do one more movie, and then I'm gonna talk about some of the stuff that happened movie wise in February that I think causes discussion. And continue to drop your favorite watches that you had. I want to see what you guys had a good time watching in February. So next up is probably the most controversial movie on my list, and that is going to be Dracula. Dracula is a Luke Benson film, that's why it's so controversial, because not only is Luke Benson a piece of shit, he is adapting like classic material that a lot of people cherish. And while I recognize that, I did not pay to see this movie, so I didn't give this movie any money. But I actually ended up enjoying it a lot. I see like a lot of mixed reviews for it. I think it understood the tone it was going for. It was a little bit more hokey than like a Bram Stoker Dracula or like or Nosferatu or other Dracula films. And it is weird that we just got Nosferatu and then he did this. And there's parts of these movies that's very similar but very different at the same time. But I had a really good time watching this movie. I wish the director wasn't such a piece of crap, but the movie was directed well. It was funny. I think the acting was really really strong between the actors. I think the guy who played Dracula was really really good. And why is Rotten Tomatoes popping up? I want to see. Thank you, cast. I want to see the cast. Yeah, Caleb Landry. He played Vlad slash Dracula. I think Christopher Waltz, who's always really really good, was in the movie as well. And the movie was just really really interesting. I like the love story. I like the backstory of Dracula in this, in terms of the curse and why he did it, and the pain that he suffered throughout, and then understanding why he was the way he was later on, and his yearning. We didn't really get that in Nosferatu. I think that the designs of stuff look really cool, and I really really enjoyed this movie a lot. I think that the negatives, outside of Luke Benson being the one that directed it, is that the VFX in certain aspects were weird. There's like some gargoyles that he added to the lore of the movie that's not in any other version, I think, that look awful, but it was funny. So I, and then what he did with the gargoyles at the end of the film just had me going, what? So I had a really good time watching Dracula in the comfort of my home for free. Won't explain how. But I really enjoyed this movie. So actually going to be in the B tier, and it's going to go higher than Dreams. I hate when this do this. I had a really good time with good old Drax, even though Luke Benson is absolutely trash person. If you don't know, look up what Luke Benson did. And you'll find out. Hey, Kiara, what's up? What's up? Media Review says, popping to say hi. You know, I haven't seen any of these. I know you are old school movie head. If you don't know, Sup Media Review, she reviews all old school movies. She just did a Black History Month section where each week she did a different Black History movie or topic, and she's ending it, because Black History doesn't end in February, with top 5 Black films, and that's coming up pretty soon. So I'm really excited to check that video out. And some of the YouTubers you know and love are going to be in that video. So subscribe to her and be on the lookout for that. Sorry. The only Dracula movie I will watch is the one with Anthony Hopkins, Gary Oldman, Keanu Reeves, that came out in the 90s. That's Bram Stoker. I hear about that one. I have not seen Bram Stoker's Dracula yet, but I definitely want to check it out. I want to see the Nosferatu adaptations, the Dracula adaptations. I really love Nosferatu, the Robert Eggers one, so I definitely want to see what inspired it. But I haven't seen Bram Stoker yet. Bram Stoker. Dracula. I don't know why I was saying his name like that. Okay, so we're going to take a little break from the rankings, and I want to talk about some of the stuff that's happened in February 2026. It was very, very eventful. Where we go? I was just talking about this on Sunday with the Evan Edition, another live stream that I do every other Sunday, and we were talking about Netflix and Paramount trying to buy Warner Brothers, and that kind of winding down and everything, and how controversial this is going to be for not only just us, but the movie industry, theaters, and everything, right? The positive of Paramount getting it is they will give Warner Brothers movies a theatrical release, and they also will still focus on physical media. So that happened in February, where they found a way to outbid Netflix, and Netflix backed out, and now they will 90, I'm like 70 30 60 40% sure it will go through, because they have the power and the backing of the government. Mr. Orange Man is backing Paramount. The negatives is just how it's going to change the movie industry. Warner Brothers is like a cultural staple. They had a fantastic year and kind of dominated the narrative of the year with Sinners and One Battle After Another and Final Destination Bloodlines and Weapons. Some of the biggest movies of the year came from Warner Brothers, and a lot of them are risks, especially Sinners. And I don't think Paramount will take those risks. It sounds like they said they're going to have it as a separate entity, but you hear that all the time. I think Disney said that about Fox, and now Fox is kind of like a specialty label under Disney with Searchlight Pictures. I'm really worried about what's going to happen to like the media, like CNN and a bunch of other stuff, where it feels like they're going to fire all the liberal aspects of that and kind of really just push the conservative aspect. So that's really worrying. And that happened at the end of February. Also happening February were the BAFTAs. We're in award season, and the Oscars is coming up really soon. Voting actually opened up today, and they're going to be voting for the next 2 days on the Oscars. And we had two big events leading into it. We had a couple. The PGAs happened, the DGAs happened, and a couple other Spirit Awards happened all in February. And then the big one, which is a precursor, is the BAFTAs. And I'm pretty sure you guys know. And I guess I can go back to the thing after I'm done. You guys know is that unfortunately, a person who has Tourette's was there, and not unfortunately that he was there, but he was there, and unfortunately he said the N-word. And based on what he said in his interview recently, I honestly think that BBC and BAFTA set him up. Obviously, when you have Tourette's, that's something that's uncontrollable. But I think he got set up because there were mics right in front of him. There should have been no mics in front of him, right? But I think the aftermath of that really showcased kind of why we need the NAACP awards and different things like that, right? Because no one has apologized to Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan still, right? They've give these vague apologies to the people who were offended and things like that. And even the man who had Tourette's, who was supposed to be honored that night because his movie was nominated, still hasn't directly apologized, even with his statement, still kind of defending himself when most people understand already that he can't control his tics. We just need him to not apologize for having Tourette's, but apologize for how he made the people feel, right? My main thing is, like, if you have a disorder or a tic or a neurological issue, you're not exempt from culpability or accountability. If someone has PTSD or someone has a physical tic, because not everybody has verbal tics, some people have physical tics where they kind of move. If you're on the street and your physical tic goes off and you slap someone in the face by mistake, it's not your fault, right? Because you can't control it, but you did also hit someone. So you should say, I'm sorry, this happens to me. I did not mean to do that. I apologize that I hurt you, even though I didn't. It's not my fault, right? It's the same thing with a verbal assault, you know? It's you apologize. You say, I'm sorry about that. I did not mean to make you feel that way. And that's not the type of energy that I'm trying to bring, because he's an activist. And the big thing that I think why, as I got more information, I didn't want to talk about it right away because I want to get full information, that pissed me off about the situation, especially with him not apologizing directly to who he affected, because it wasn't just Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo. He also said it on the red carpet to two Black women. Is because, like I said, he's an activist. He's been spreading awareness in the UK about Tourette's syndrome for a long time. And Tourette's is bigger, or not bigger, is diagnosed more in the UK than it is in America. So it's a bigger deal over there because there's more people that they're aware of having Tourette's than here. So that their everyday lives, they have more people that they interact with Tourette's. I feel like it's not, especially someone that lives in New York, I don't interact with people who have Tourette's, or if they do, I don't know. He was invited to meet the Queen and be bestowed an award, and this is on record. It wasn't recorded purposely, I believe. And the Queen was warned ahead of time that he has his tics. He may say something disrespectful, but he doesn't mean it. And he called her a name, a very nasty name, obviously not on purpose. It's his tic. He can't control it. And he apologized. So that's what pissed me off, is that you said something that you didn't mean because you have this disorder. You said it to this person who knew you had a disorder and was told ahead of time that you had a disorder, and he doesn't mean anything. And you still made sure to apologize because you know that it was still a bad thing and it can make the person feel bad. And the Queen was able to say, it's okay. I understand. I was told beforehand. So I just feel like the way he treated Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan and the two ladies that he said it around, how the BBC treated the situation with Warner Brothers telling them to edit out that beforehand, and they still didn't. So meaning they didn't have any excuse. And then the BAFTAs, the host not apologizing directly to the people who were affected. You know, Michael B. Jordan's mom cried because of the situation. Seeing her son have to go through that on one of the biggest nights of his life, and again, not to present an award and everything like that. It just was a really unfortunate situation. I think I sucks that I don't remember what his name is. I hate that it says Tourette's guy. John Davidson. I think I don't blame John Davidson for having Tourette's. I don't blame John Davidson for saying the word because he can't control it, but I do blame him for how he acted afterwards. I think his lack of empathy and sympathy and culpability for what he did is very telling. I feel like he's using the opportunity to try to spread awareness to Tourette's, which is important, but you should have early on, hey, I'm sorry that I made these two gentlemen feel like this. I want to publicly apologize, and he should privately apologize to these two, and then spread the awareness about Tourette's after as well, because some people are saying some nasty, untruthful things on the internet about the condition. So I really think he's doing a bad job handling it, and that's where I blame him, and I blame the BBC and the BAFTAs for not editing that out and taking way too long to edit it out. And it's just a bad situation. So moving on from the BAFTAs, which was a disaster, and I feel like they used John Davidson and the Sinners cast to get clicks because no one ever talks about the BAFTAs. And I think that's why they left it in, because they cut out. He also said a homophobic slur, and they cut that out. And someone talked about Free Palestine, they cut that out, but they didn't cut out the N word because that just shows how much they care about Black people. But then we had the NAACP Awards, and it was such a good time to have that right after that happened. It was such a beautiful celebration of Black art. A lot of Black film and television shows that doesn't get mainstream awards was awarded there, and Michael B. Jordan was celebrated there, and I love that for him and the rest of the Sinners cast as well. And then the SAG/ACTRA Awards came. I don't really like the name change. Came, and Sinners did a good job there too. Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor at the ACTRA Awards, and not only does that make this award season such a spiral, because other than Best Actress, I have no idea what's going to win what. I might do a prediction video though. I'm just happy that in a week, literally within a week, he went through this traumatic situation, never got formally apologized to, and then went to two different events where people celebrated him. That's so awesome, and I'm glad that he was able to be celebrated here. I'm pushing for him to even be more celebrated at the Oscars. It's him and Timmy, really as the front runners, and I'm not going to be mad at either or. But I really would love at this point now for Michael B to win, and I think the industry wants Sinners to win everything. It feels like every time Wumi Masaka, Delroy Lindo, Michael B. Jordan get or Sinners is brought up, Ryan Coogler is brought up, there's cheers from everyone, from all walks of life. So Sinners is the people's choice at this point. Let me see what you guys have to say in the comments, because I really wanted to talk to people about this. I haven't gotten to talk about it formally. I definitely want to do more topic videos like that and break it down things. I just didn't have time because I wanted to get all information. Kiara said, thanks for the plug. That top 5 Black movies video is coming out later tonight. Nice. I'm going to check it out. Zach, in the video I sent to the group, the chat, the governor of California said he's going to fight Paramount not to get Warner Brothers. There's a lot of different bodies that are going to be fighting Warner Brothers so that fighting Paramount so they can't get Warner Brothers. And there was even a leak audio from Zaslav saying that he doesn't think that it will go through, but if it doesn't go through, they still will get enough money to cut down into their debt. So it feels like it's a strategic play from Netflix and Warner Brothers a little bit, because Netflix got $2.8 billion out of this, even though they didn't get Netflix. So they got paid to back out. So it feels like everyone might lose. I feel like Paramount might end up being the loser here, spending the most money and not getting it. But we'll see. We'll see. I heard about all this. I looked it up. It was really messed up. That guy should have apologized by now to Michael B. Jordan and his co-star. I try to explain that to others. Sometimes you're not allowed to tell other people how they feel, right or wrong. Gotta apologize sometimes. Yeah, everybody was trying to police how Black people felt about the situation, and they're not thinking about all the trauma that is behind that word and trying to make excuses like, oh, you guys say to each other all the time. And I'm like, I don't know what Black friends you have, but we do not say nigger to each other all the time. That's not a word that we use to each other. And when it's unprompted that way, they weren't told this might happen until the ceremony started, which is insane to me, right? This should have been something that was told ahead of time so people could have been prepared for this, because it could have turned out like a Will Smith moment, right? It could have been really bad where someone could have slapped him in his face because they didn't know. So I think they handled the situation. They put him in danger. They put everybody in a bad situation. Spoiler Kings were talking about this. They did a whole live stream about it. Yeah, I didn't get to check it out, but I saw. Hey, Dark Room, what's up, man? How you doing? What's your favorite film of February? How do you feel about the BAFTAs, the NAACP awards, and the actor awards, and everything that's happened so far with Sinners and One Battle and all that? Agree with you. You should apologize for harm, even if it's unintentional, impact or intent. Impact over intent. Yes, I've been seeing a lot of people say that. The best example I've seen is someone saying you could be driving if you have a heart attack while you're driving, and that's something you can't control, and you hit somebody. Should you not apologize? It's out of your control. You didn't mean to hit this person with your car, but you still did it. So, the guy hosting the awards played in GoldenEye. I really liked him, but now I feel I lost respect for him. I'm pretty sure he was also Nightcrawler in X-Men. He's coming back for Doomsday. Yeah, also he played X-Men 2, and it was the blue guy. The blue guy. Nightcrawler. Yeah, I'm very happy that Michael B. Jordan won. I really hope he wins the Oscar. I do too, man. I'm rooting for him now. Like I said, if it is Timmy, I'm not mad because I really liked his performance. And if you guys saw the Zach Goldberg Movie Awards, I did give him Best Actor, but it's a close race. So let's get back into this. Keep dropping your questions and talking about stuff in here. Let's keep talking about my ranking for February movies. So far, if you just jumped in, I've ranked Relationship Goals as an F, Psycho Killer as a D, The Bluff from Prime Video as a C, and then Dracula, Dreams, and Pelion are B. F, if you're wondering, is the worst of the worst. D is like below average but not terrible. C is like average to really good. B is like really good to great. So that's where we're at with the movie so far. Next up, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit closer. Hopefully you guys can see it well. I'm going to try a different view next time. We're going to be talking about Crime 101. This one was really, really good. I went to go see this with my mom because she loves crime films. I knew this would be right down her alley, and she had a great time. And I had a great time too. I think Crime 101 had a really cinematic feel to it. It felt like those old school crime thrillers we used to watch, like Heat and different films like that back in the day, but updated for 2025, 2026. And I think Chris Hemsworth did a great job of playing against type, right? Like he's usually this charismatic, over the top character. You think about Furiosa, you think about Bad Times at El Royale. You think about Thor, obviously, in different roles he's done. He knows how to play those type of characters. Here, he's a bit more subdued. He was someone with trauma, and they explored it a little bit in the film. I wish that they explored it a little bit more, but Crime 101 was really, really good. I think Mark Ruffalo did a great job playing a grumpy cop. He's always grumpy. There was Halle Berry was really great in the film. I love that all the characters had their different things that they were fighting against, right? Like Chris Hemsworth's character was fighting against the crime being violent and wanted safety and wanted to get it out of that life. Mark Ruffalo was fighting against a corrupt system. And Halle Berry was also fighting against a corrupt system. And then you have Barry Keoghan just coming in and just being one of the wildest people of 2026. He was insane in this movie and very, very entertaining. And I think the only thing that's holding this movie back from like being great, like being like a top tier of the list movie for me at least, is that I think it just didn't have that moment or joke or serious monologue or like something in there to take it over the top where you're like you highly recommend it to everybody. It's going to be one of those movies where like, oh, you guys remember Crime 101? You're like, yeah, that was good, but it's not going to be something that's brought up a lot. It's not going to be one of those that like, this is one of the best crime movies of the 2020s. Maybe it might be, depending. I haven't watched a ton of crime movies in 2020, but I just need a little bit more action sequence, of a more explosive third act, something. But I still had a really good time, and it was worth it seeing in theaters. So with Crime 101, I do think this is better than The Bluff and everything. I'm going to definitely put this in the B tier, and definitely higher than It'll go higher than Dracula for now. He'll go higher than Dracula for now. All right. Let me see what you guys got to say. Hey, Zach, I have a quick question. Are you planning to go back to where you watch old movies and review them like you did with the Lord of the Rings trilogy? Yeah, I actually am planning on going back. I'm planning on setting that up. I'm planning on to going back in time and moving forward. So I'm planning on going on IMDb and looking up the best movies of the 1940s and just review each decade for every year. So 2026 will be 1940, and then next year will probably be 1950, and to kind of do that, I think I'm gonna be reviewing the decades, and hopefully, maybe do something like a video where I talk about what that decade means after watching some of the best movies from the decade. That's what I'm thinking about right now, but I'm definitely going to be doing throwback reviews. I'm going to be doing other ones in between that, where maybe I review an old movie if like a sequel or something comes out. But I'm definitely going to be bringing back my throwback reviews back. I really hope we get out Crime 101 on 4K because we do end up picking it up. I'm pretty sure a movie like that will get a 4K. I think so. It's a great looking movie. Hopefully. Dell, what's up, Dell on Movies? How you doing? Okay, let's get into the moment. This is the biggest surprise for me of 2026 so far. To preface this, I don't know anything about Charli XCX. I've never willingly listened to her music. I don't want to say I never heard her music, but because I'm pretty sure that I've heard her music before. I didn't realize it was her, like just out and about, maybe my job playlist or I'm in Target. But I've heard of her because of Letterboxd. She reviews movies on Letterboxd a lot, and I was like, okay, she's a cinephile, and I like her attitude on there. And then I saw that she was getting like roles before this movie was announced. So then I was like, let me see if she can act, right? And I ended up being blown away by this film. I thought it was so good. It's like a mockumentary style kind of film on like how we've been getting a lot of these live show or live tour movies, like the Taylor Swift one. We got a Beyonce one. We've gotten Justin Bieber. We've gotten a bunch of like those kind of movies for fans. She kind of did one about her that was inspired by her first tour, but it was like in jest, but it was like really, really good. Charli XCX can act. She did a really good job in this movie, showing some emotional range. I'm not saying that she's like the next big like transformative actress, but if people put her in the correct roles and direct her in the right way, she is someone that can transition into acting or do both if she wants to. And this movie just was a good time. The music was good. The acting was really good. This is another performance by Alexander Skarsgård again. Yeah, I was going to say Bill. No, it's Alexander Skarsgård again. Another role where he nailed it, playing like this kind of hippy dippy director who was trying to take over all her creativeness in this movie. And it just felt so real and funny. And I just had a really good time. I was shocked. There's a monologue moment that Charli has in this film that I was like, wow, she can go. A lot. This is one of my favorite movies of the year so far. Definitely not there. I think it's definitely it's definitely one of my favorite movies for this year. It's not the top of the top, but I highly recommend it. It literally just came out on rental for today. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, it came out on rental today, so you definitely can rent it and check it out if you want to check it out for cheap. But I highly recommend it. It's A24. A24 always nails it for me. Let me know if you need some recommendations from the 40s. Thank you. I'm definitely gonna hit you up. I'm gonna compile a list and you let me know if it's missing anything. Collective Movie Man says, I definitely recommend Heat. It's probably one of the best crime movies. It's Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Val Kilmer. Been hearing about that movie forever. We're getting a sequel, so I definitely want to watch that movie before the sequel comes out, and hopefully do a throwback review before that movie comes out. But yeah, Heat is definitely one of those movies that I want to check out. Okay, we're down to the last two films. We're down to the last two movies on this list. And I'm really, really liking the placement so far. I left my two favorite movies for last. And yeah, this was a really, really good month. I don't think we've got any banger films just yet. like top of the line, but we got some really great ones, and I think these last two were some really great ones. Kiara said Heat was all right. Kiara always not she's not a contrarian, but she's always bringing certain movies down to earth. She watches stuff that's really hyped up and going, this is not all that. This is you guys overhype this stuff. So I'm definitely gonna check out Heat. We'll see. There's movies people have hyped up, and I was like, this is okay. Okay. Let's see. Next up is Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. This is a movie that I was totally surprised by. I did not expect it to be this good. I went in, saw the trailer a couple of times. Actually, saw the trailer a lot because it was playing a lot leading up to this film, but it didn't really show too much of the movie. And I didn't watch the second or third trailer because I didn't want to be spoiled. But yeah, Good Luck, have fun, don't die. It's so damn good. It's so fun. It's my third favorite movie of the year so far. I think that I had such a blast with this. It has such creativity while borrowing obviously from other sci-fi movies. And it just Sam Rockwell kills it as a man coming from the future, coming to the present, trying to stop an apocalypse, and just bringing in all these different actors that I know I love in here, and having them trying to go on this really kooky, fun adventure across the city just to try to get to where this AI that destroys the world may be birthed. I don't want to spoil too much if you guys haven't checked it out. I would say it's worth checking out in theaters if you haven't had a chance. If it's still in a theater near you. When it comes to streaming, definitely check it out. Good Luck, Have Fun was so good. Really good action, really good messaging, really funny. It has a mix of Black Mirror and good time travel movies, and it has its own unique dialogue and nature to it. I just had a really good time. It was wacky, it was fun. It's my type of thing. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Everything Everywhere All at Once. Not as good, but a little bit. It had that. It feels like in the same vein, but not the same movie. So Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Obviously, going to be a lot higher than this. I'm going to put in the A. But this was really, what the hell? Is A blocked? Why is it not letting me put in the A? Come on, man. There we go. I'm going to put in the A. It's not S tier. I don't think I've gotten an S tier movie for this year yet, unfortunately. But it was really, really good. So I'm going to put Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die in A. In A tier. If you saw my review, you know I had a really good time. Oh, let me see. Heat was all right. I love Heat, one of my all-time favorite heist films. Okay. I like that description, bringing movies down to earth. Kiara, what's your favorite movie? Like, what's your all-time favorite movie? Or if you can't do one, just give me three. What's your three favorite movies? I'm interested what your taste is, because there's a lot of classic films that you're like, so I'm interested. Heat 2 cast Leonardo DiCaprio, Christian Bale, Austin Butler, Bradley Cooper, and Adam Driver. That's an all-star cast. Very, very white though. It would have been nice if they got some colorings in there, but I get it. Oh yeah, Napoleon Dynamite. I remember you talking about that. that definitely is your number one. I remember that episode and how much you love that movie. Is there any movies here that are ranked that you feel like should be higher, should be lower, or movies that you're like, wait, I saw this in February. Where is it? That's a good question to ask you guys. Ooh, a recent one. American Fiction is top 3. American Fiction is really, really, really good. The OG Heat is Lily White too. I'm not surprised. It's an old movie, so I give old movies like that a pass. But like, this movie's coming out like next year. You could add it. Maybe it might end up having some supporting characters. But it'd be nice if there was like a black lead, a main character within the group. Obviously, Leonardo DiCaprio and Christian Bale are probably going to be the leads. But yeah, that's why we got to make our own Heats. I want to see our own heist movies. They cloned Tyrone, and it was a really good one. But I Love Boosters is coming out this year, and I'm really excited for I Love Boosters by Boot Riley, which is a heist movie. So be on the lookout for that. That's a black heist movie. I'm really excited for that. But let's talk about my favorite movie of the month of February. And this is a little movie that just came out of nowhere and blew me away. I did not know anything about this until literally this year. I want to zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see it. And that is Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. So this is a movie that is based off an old show that came out like maybe a decade ago. It was a long time ago, about these two Canadian guys who are trying to make a band called Nirvana the Band, and the main guy Matt always has these kooky ideas. Instead of just doing the regular thing that musicians would, is try to get gigs, play at local bars, build their name up in the city so they can go play at one of their favorite places. He keeps trying to do these insane stunts to get noticed so that they can get invited to these places instead. And the movie takes it up to another notch. It takes a little while to get into it, especially if you never watched the show. You're like, whoa, what's going on? It's just because it like jumps right into it. But once you get into the groove of the film and you understand it, the movie is hilarious. It's really funny. It's really meta. I have a review that I just dropped for this movie on my channel. It feels like, on my thumbnail I said it feels illegal, and that's because it feels like they filmed in places that they shouldn't have. Like there's a tower called the CN Tower in Toronto, and somehow they got to the top of that and jumped off. I don't know how they legally were able to do that, but this movie is insane. It's fun. It's funny. It has some heart, and it has some time travel hijinks and jokes that were really, really good. A particular one dealing with Hangover that had me dying in the theater. There was so many moments that I just cracked up to the point where like people were dying laughing, and someone was like, "Shh," which blows my mind. You're in the theater watching a comedy. You expect people to say shush? You gonna shush people while they're laughing? That don't make no sense. But yeah, if this movie is still in theaters for you, and I think it is, I think it just came out this past Friday, go check it out. You don't need to watch the show. I think the movie does a really good job of just explaining the dynamic between these two, where you don't have to watch the show. It's kind of like I was gonna say Bill and Ted, but I don't think it's even like a Bill. It's kind of a Bill and Ted Adventures dynamic, just a classic comic duo where one guy is just really silly and he's trying to do all these crazy things, and the other guy is along for the ride, but then they gotten older and he's like, I need to do something else. I need to do something with more mature and try to make something of myself, and you're holding me back. And that's where it creates conflict, and it kind of explodes while they're in the past because it's a time travel movie. And it's a lot going on, and the hijinks land here. I don't want to give too much because there's so many surprises, but this is my favorite movie of the year so far. One of those things where I just love, where a movie I did not expect, I didn't know, just comes and just knock me out of my seat, right? Not S tier, but this is the top of the list, and I would say right here, this will be A, right before Good Luck Don't Die, or right after, I should say. It was such a fun movie. I had such a good time. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It doesn't overuse gags. It does visual gags in a way that's really funny. I just can't highly recommend this movie enough. So just to recap my list, we have Relationship Goals, Rightfully Where It Belongs in F. Psycho Killer, the horror movie written by the Seven writer, which ended up being Disappointment, in D for Disappointment. The Bluff, which I thought was a really good movie, but you know, even though I thought the script was written really well and laid out really well, I think that it's still kind of generic in ways. B, a lot of really good to great movies here. Pelion, Dreams, Dracula, Crime 101, The Moment. A lot of experimental stuff here. And then two really experimental movies here in the A tier. Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, and Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. What do you guys think of my ranking? Have you seen any of these movies? Do you think that any of these movies should be higher or lower? And what is your favorite movie of February that you've seen? Let me see what you guys have been saying. Oh yeah, you said American Fiction is top 3. That's such a recent movie. That's dope. I really like American Fiction. I realize I don't own it physically. I need to go buy it so I can watch it again. I want to watch it in pristine because it's a good looking movie. Dell loves Napoleon Dynamite. I've never seen it. I need to watch that. I need to watch Napoleon Dynamite. I think my third pick might be Dreamgirls, but I got to think about it. Okay, Dreamgirls. All right. What was number? Again, American Fiction is 2. So Napoleon, American Fiction, and Dreamgirls. Okay. Another movie I haven't seen. At least I've seen one of your 3 favorite movies. Sean Kenny says, I want to see a version of Sinners without the horror. Just straight up mob movie. I just want to see a version of Sinners without the horror. Just straight up mob movie, start to finish, with Michael B. Twins prequel. I would love that. Or just, it doesn't even have to be Sinners. I would love someone to be inspired by Sinners and do a movie like that. It could be twins. It could be brothers. A rumor was that the original idea for Sinners was going to be Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan were going to be Smoke and Stack, and one was going to be a little older than the other. There's going to be like a year difference. I would love that to be. I would love somebody to do something like that, or it could be twins and just have them rising up the ranks in a really cool mob movie like that. I would love that too, because the great thing about Sinners is that if you take the horror away, it was still a great movie. I was engaged. I wanted to see them build the dance floor and see what was going to happen there, but it was just elevated to get to another level when the vampires showed up. But yeah, I agree with you. I would love to see a Black Mob movie just like that. Anyone who hasn't seen Boots Riley's first movie, Sorry to Bother You, or his TV show Virgo should give both a watch. Yeah, man, I need to watch Sorry to Bother You. That's been on my list for a long time, and I didn't realize he did Virgo. I want to watch that. What else has he done? Have I seen anything he's done? I'm a Virgo, Sorry to Bother You, Fremont I've heard of as well. He doesn't have a ton of stuff. He just really started getting into it, but he's a musician, so he picks dope beats, and I'm really excited to see I Love Boosters. So yeah, definitely gonna check those out. Collecting Movie says favorite movies is Return of the King, Empire Strikes Back, Titanic, Dark Knight, and The Gladiator. Some mainstream classics. No, I haven't seen any of those yet, but it's a good ranking. Oh my God, you gotta watch Napoleon Dynamite. I'm not mad about a Sinners prequel. Look, there's so much possibilities. We can get a prequel about Smoke and Stack. We can get a prequel about the Native American vampire hunters. I would love that. Even if it's not within the universe, I would like someone to go, hey, I have an idea about Native American vampire hunters. You see how popular they were in Sinners and how people wanted to see it. Let's make our own version of that. Let's somebody pitch that. Or, hey, you see how people love that mob aspect of Sinners. Let's do a Black Mob movie in a similar tone. We could do it in the past. We could do it in the modern era. I would love both of that. Haven't seen any February 2026 movies yet, but I did watch Neza 2 earlier this month. Oh, my God. Yes. I'm glad that you got to see it, man. That movie was so damn good. That was my favorite movie of last year. Neza 2 was insane. Insane. Oh man, did you see Neza 1 first, Dell, before you saw Neza 2? Sorry to Bother You is nuts in a fun and slightly disturbing way. Okay, sounds like my type of film. Let's talk about let's see where we are March. And we're out of February. We talked about February and everything like that. So I'm really excited for the movies in February. I mean, I was really excited about the movies in February. They delivered for me. I didn't watch a lot of crap. I really wish I got to see Wuthering Heights and Goat. I still might go see Goat in theaters. I think my mom wants to see that, which is surprising. So I'm going to go see that with her. And I'm going to find a way to watch Wuthering Heights in theaters. If not, then I'll wait till it gets streaming because it's doing really well. Oh, and also, obviously, I didn't rank Scream 7. If you're wondering why that's not here, I boycotted that because of the Melissa Barrera firing. So I'm not paying to watch that movie. The same way I watched Dracula, I'm gonna watch Scream 7 if you know what I mean. But let's talk about March. I want to talk about my most anticipated movies that are coming out in March, and I'd like you guys to let me know too. Right now, I think somebody just talked about it. Hey, Evan Bernstein from the Evan Edition. I was just talking about this live stream. We just did one this Sunday. We do it every other week. And our next live stream, I believe, is the Oscars. We're going to be live watching the Oscars. So that's going to be really fun. But Evan said, cousin saw Project Hail Mary this past weekend, said it was incredible. And that's a great segue. Project Hail Mary was not on my anticipation list at all. I didn't think the trailers did anything for me. I like Ryan Gosling, but it was nothing in the trailers that got me hype. I never read the book, so I had no reference about how the book was really good. But because of these early reactions from people who saw it, I am super excited to check out Project Hail Mary now. I'm really excited to check this out. I think I got tickets to see it next week. I got to check that out. I think it's next week or it might be this week. everything that everybody describing it as like The Martian meets Interstellar meets one other sci-fi movie that's really good is getting me super hyped. So that is definitely on my anticipation list for March. Also, another A24 film. If you have A24 in your logo, I'm going to be excited for you. But Undertone, a new horror movie that's coming out, and I believe Sean Kennedy mentioned it with Obsession. I'm really, really, really excited for Undertone. It's going to be a horror movie where a lady has a horror podcast, and we've been seeing a lot of those, so it's cool to see a movie about it. And she hears recordings; they sound disturbing, but it might have released something inside of her house. And everyone that saw it so far has said it is really, really creepy because it's not what you see, is what you hear, which I think is very interesting. Right? It takes that Quiet Place route, but maybe to another level. Because Quiet Place was creepy. At least the original one was creepy because it's like the whole like you got to be silent and stuff like that. And if you make noise, you're on edge, and you care about those characters. So I'm excited to see if they make me care about the characters in Undertone, or the character. I think is one person, and how far they can pull that topic. Because it can get really old and really repetitive really fast. But I'm really, really excited for Undertone. Kiara said, I'm not a horror girly. I know that for sure, but I love the idea of Undertone. Okay, so you might go check it out. Let me find out you're going to watch a new movie. And then this is a movie that was at a festival in 2024, I believe, and then went to festivals 2025. And I think it released overseas, but it hasn't released in America, but it's now finally being released in America. It's called Late Shift. And it's a movie. It's kind of like Pit, the movie. If you know that the Apple TV show, The Pit, or is it not Apple TV, HBO Max show, The Pit. It's about a nurse who works at a very stressful hospital late shift, and this particular night that they're depicting in this movie is like way more stressful than normal, and it's like she's going up against a clock. The description won't tell you exactly what's happening, but everything I'm hearing that this movie is great. It's a foreign film, and I'm really excited to check it out finally. I've been hearing such good things about it, and I've been trying to see it, but it hasn't. This is the first time it's going to be released in America. It's going to be limited. Limited scope, is not going wide just yet, but I'm excited to check out Late Shift in March. Let me see what you. Oh wait, hold up. Hey Josh, what's up, man? How you doing? What's your favorite movie of February that you saw, and what are you are excited about in March? Okay, the only movie I'm looking forward to in March is Project Hail Mary. I'm seeing Project Hail Mary on the 19th. I already got my ticket. Nice. Meets E.T. Yes. There. Thank you, Evan. April, I think I have two movies. I want to see Michael and Super Mario Galaxy. I'm excited for Super Mario Galaxy. Not too excited about Michael, even though I think he's the greatest pop star of all time. That movie just doesn't look that great to me. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. The only movie I'm hella buzzed about is Ready or Not sequel, and I guess that's what I should talk about. Ready or Not 2 is on my list of most anticipated movies. I didn't see Ready or Not when it first released, but I ended up loving it once I finally got to check it out. It was so fun and different. Obviously, we've seen a lot of person getting chased by people horror movies, but it was done in a fun, unique way. And Samara Weaving is one of my favorite actresses. She just has such an amazing, expressive face, and horror is perfect for her. She did a great job in that first movie. And then the second movie brings in another actress that I really like in horror, in Kathryn Newton, who was fantastic in Lisa Frankenstein and fantastic in Abigail, which I need to buy. And like fantastic in Abigail. She was so good when she switched to a vampire. So I'm excited to see her in there now. And they're going to be playing sisters, and we get Michelle Gellar and all these other people in the movie chasing them. And I'm excited to see how they up the ante, but also add. I hope it's just not more of the same. You just add the sister and that's it. Hopefully they find some twists and turns and some more lore to bring in the movie to really make it exciting. If it's just more than the same and it's just really, really fun because it seems like they're leaning more into the comedy than the first one, I still will be satisfied, but it'd be really great if the movie is a little bit more than just more of the same. OG Ready or Not is a great time. Yeah, and I'm hoping the second one is a great time too. My last movie on the anticipated list, because I only did 5. There's more movies I'm excited for, but I didn't want to do too many. It's going to be called They Will Kill You, which is funny because feels very similar to Ready or Not. When I saw the trailer, I was like, this is kind of similar to Ready or Not. The first one, They Will Kill You, is starring Zazie Beetz, and she's a maid inside of a hotel where there's like a lot of rich people and weird people are living in. And she starts getting attacked by the guests of the hotel, and she slowly finds out that it's like a cult that needs to sacrifice someone, and she's the one that they want to sacrifice. But they didn't know that she is like a skilled fighter. So it's her trying to survive the night to get out of the hotel while fighting all these crazy people that live there that's trying to sacrifice her and just murdering everybody. So it's similar to Ready or Not in a way where it's kind of hide and seek a little bit, but Ready or Not, she's not skilled fighter. She just was raw about what she was doing. Here, this person, Zazie Beetz, playing a character that actually has talent and skill to fight. So I like Zazie Beetz. I think she's a really good actress. She was in Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. She was really good in that, even though I think she was underutilized. And I've been wanting to see her in more stuff. She had Atlanta, which she was great in, and then she was in Deadpool. And they didn't bring her back for, I think she was in Deadpool 2. Was it Deadpool 2 that Domino was in? I think Deadpool 2. And they didn't bring her back for Deadpool and Wolverine, which was disappointing. And I don't think they are bringing her back anytime soon for anything else. So I'm excited to see her in more stuff. They Will Kill You sounds like The Hunt. Yes, I've been seeing people say this is like Ready or Not meets The Hunt. Because I think The Hunt was a little bit more serious. I need to see that though. I haven't seen The Hunt. I definitely need to see that movie. Let's see. All right. Yeah. So that was my ranking of all the movies I saw in February. We talked about a lot of things. I talked about how January started off the year. I ranked all 8 movies I saw. We talked about the BAFTAs. We talked about the NAACP awards. We've talked about the ACTA awards and kind of the controversy around everything that happens with John Davison and Michael B. Jordan. And then we talked about the most anticipated films that I have for March. I want to thank you guys for joining the stream. This is something I want to do once a month, the first Tuesday of the new month, where I rank the movies I saw and kind of talk about recent developments in the movie industry with you guys, and just have a general movie conversation with you guys once a month at least. Other than in my comments in my videos, I really appreciate everybody coming in and talking and having fun. This was really good. The Hunt is silly but a fun watch. Okay, so it might be more like The Hunt than Ready or Not. First, go back and watch Ice-T and Surviving the Game, then watch The Hunt. Interesting. Okay, let me add this stuff to my watch list before I forget. So we talked about a couple movies. You just said Ice-T is Surviving the Game. Oh, here it is. Surviving the Game from 1994. Add to watch list. Don't forget to add Heat. Okay, add Heat to my watch list. What are the movies you guys talk? Somebody said something about Forgotten. I gotta watch Forgotten to my watch list. 2017. Here it is. Oh, yeah, the 3.8 on Letterboxd. Napoleon. The first thing that popped up was that Ridley Scott Napoleon, but that is not what you're talking about. Oh, it's Napoleon Dynamite. That's why. Napoleon Dynamite to my watch list. Yeah, sorry to bother you. Letterboxd. Oh, Tessa Thompson in this. Gotta watch it. I have Schindler's List Let me put this up there so people who watch it can see it. It's not me talking. Yes, 1994. Add Napoleon. Schindler's List. I've already had Schindler's List on my watch list. And sorry to bother you. I feel like there's something else someone told me to watch that I didn't add. Oh, Virgo, but that's a TV show. I think that's it. I think that's all the movies you guys were suggesting to me for this year to watch. I also need to watch Palm Springs because I heard that was really good. Also, where's Lakeith Stanfield? He needs to be in more movies and like starring. Palm Springs. All right. You send me movies. Well, I'm starting from the 40s. So it's gonna be a while before I get to the 90s. But when I do, I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up. So this was really fun, guys. Be on the lookout for more videos from me. I'm good. I might be working on a video tonight. I just got a screener for a movie called Doll, which is coming out this Friday. It's a horror movie, a gory horror movie that I actually got to watch with Kenny. So I think I'm gonna do a real quick short review on that. So that should be coming out soon, hopefully. Well, actually, I might just work on it as soon as I end the stream. And I'm going to be seeing. Let me not lie to you guys. You know, you can do this live. Let me look at my Regal Unlimited. Thank God for Regal Unlimited, right? Every time I go on the Regal app, they're like, join Regal Crown. I'm already joined. I am a member, Regal. You don't need to advertise to me. Just get me to where I want to get to. You dig? You dig? Okay, purchases. Please don't play with me. My internet is acting funny. Okay, so I have Thursday, I'm seeing Hoppers, which I'm really excited for. I've only heard good things about Hoppers so far. TJ got to see it Saturday, and he said it was a banger. And I've seen some other people I trust say it's either really good or great. And then Friday, I'm seeing The Bride. So I'm really, really excited about that. I'm excited, one, because I'm hearing the movie's really, really good. I'm also excited because I'm finally glad that trailer won't play no more because I'm sick and tired of seeing the Bride trailer. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm done. I'm tired of Bride. But I'm seeing the Bride Friday. And then next Friday, I'm going to be seeing Project Hail Mary in 70 millimeter. So I'm excited. That's Friday the 13th. Ooh, Friday the 13th. So I'm excited to go check out those movies. Those are my next couple watches. There might be some stuff in between that. There's some smaller movies I'm going to watch at home. But yeah. Let's see. I might see The Bride next Tuesday. $5 Tuesday is nice. I wish I had a Regal near me. The closest Regal theater is like 3 hours away. Well, just if you have AMCs, just go get AMC A-List, right? Like AMC A-List is really good as well. And just use that. Or see if your local theater has a pass. That would be great too. But guys, this was great. I had a lot of fun. I love talking to you guys about movies. Definitely keep going to theaters and watch movies and supporting films in theaters. Keep talking about them online. Keep the culture alive. Be respectful to one another, even if you have different opinions. And buy physical media because it's going to be important. With the power of AI and streaming, we are going to be losing the authenticity of movies. They already are changing some of our favorite movies, so the revolutionariness of the movie is gone, and we don't want that to happen. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you in my next video. If not, I'll see you in the next live stream. Peace.